Punchie TV live. We're unmuting the mics. Hey, Bill, you got that? You got the fellas here?
Hey guys.
You'll get the fellas. How you doing, everybody? Let's switch it up here.
You muted us.
Punchie TV live coming at you. We got the fellas here, experts. They call it W history. They share lots of W's in that history.
You just want to turn it on.
Unmute their mics.
I'm muted.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Bow, 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 bow.
Nice. Finally.
I forgot he's 60 years.
We were silenced. You forgot he's 60?
Yeah.
Boomer Bill, he called him.
I forgot he's 60 years old.
That's a nice shot. That's a nice shot of Bill.
No.
No?
Right? That's a better shot.
No,
I
this
like
is
that
wrong.
Oh.
shot. Not good enough.
You look good.
I like
Pause.
the direction you're going there.
Right. You know, but I don't know how. I don't know how to do that adjustment thing that you have. Right. You got
Oh,
that
to
one.
shift
Me, I'm. Look, I'm.
Where do you want me to put you?
Yeah, he has to slouch.
I'm slouching like to major. Oh.
Okay, I got you. What's up, y'all?
Hey, guys.
How's it going? You got to pull that camera up.
What about that, Bill? I got you.
There you go.
Let's
A little more to the right. Okay. Yeah, right there. Oh,
Okay.
Let's go. We did it.
close
That
up.
looks cool.
How you doing, everybody?
Where's Joel? Joel's gone. No more Joel for Punchy TV. He got us going, and now he's gone.
Yep.
Me and
But
Joel,
shout out to Bill.
Thank you.
I think me and Joel, we did that transfusion.
You said what?
That Dragon Ball Z transfusion. Yeah, that
Yeah, big. That's big.
Yeah.
It's
I've got his
basically
dancing skills now.
James is confused. It's basically how to fuse two people together to multiply their power.
Nice.
You don't
okay,
watch,
so this is
yeah.
so we have Derrick, the producer, Bill, the engineer, Hake of the Hake Report, also known as James, and Nick, the American anchor baby, and Nicolas Gonzalez.
Yes.
What's going on, you guys? How y'all doing?
Doing well. It's White History Month, by the way.
Big. Happy White History Month, everybody. Very big.
Happy White History Month.
Thank you.
From a
What's
black
up, D
man.
lad?
That's
What
right.
is? What's
got the
up to
colors on.
chat? Yeah, we have a nice purple shirt that says July feels white,
That's
and
right.
a nice black shirt that says July just feels white.
They're
My
gonna be
black
adding
people,
those to
it's
the.
okay. It's okay to celebrate.
They're gonna be adding
That's
those
right.
to the LAPD gang unit. I mean, hopefully they won't. They're gonna actually recognize White History Month. That's what's gonna happen. I'm wishing well on the white people.
Yeah,
I was giving them a dark path there,
that's right.
right? Because they got the colors on. It's not a gang. It's America.
Yeah,
It's looking good.
They call it gang stuff. Colors.
that's right. No colors in bars.
Hey, make sure you guys order your shirts, post it on social media. All right.
Yeah.
These shirts are good, nice and tight.
And-
Show off your muscles.
And we're working on getting mugs. and
Mugs
stuff.
are going up very soon.
Get your
So
swag.
are hats.
JessieLeePeterson.shop. Hats too.
Yep. Hats as well.
That's cool.
You think
We got Bill too.
can it fit my head?
Huh?
My big old head.
So is it a black thing to have like? Is it a Black
Big
American
heads?
thing, Southern black thing to have big heads?
Yeah.
Because JLP has a big head. His dad had a big head.
Yeah.
And Derrick, according to Derrick.
Yeah, I got a
I
big
think
head.
that's an
too.
outdated science,
I got a big head too. man.
James.
Okay.
Nah, he's telling the truth. You going down to the south, a lot of black people they got big heads, big
Mhm.
watermelon heads. But it's all love.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Tennessee. Didn't they make bullying illegal there? Aren't you Tennessee?
Bullying.
Yeah, I
Didn't
know
they
we're
make
talking
bullying
about that.
illegal?
Yeah, no bullying in Tennessee. If you're a minor, if you get convicted of bullying or cyberbullying, the courts can pull your driver's license.
That's actually
That's nothing.
major when you really think about it.
Yeah. That's psycho.
It's psycho.
That's mama.
It's like one of those. It's like one of those rocks in the stream. You don't know what's gonna happen downstream, but I think it's a big one.
Yeah.
You think so?
Well, think about it. I mean,
Stop it.
you're a kid growing up. You're just like you're what Tennessee. What is it? Is it a red state? What are they like Christian and like? What am I trying to say? Like
I think it is.
like hoity-toity Christian. That's not what I'm looking for. But
Bible Belt type of Christian.
Bible Belt and maybe strict. That's the word I'm looking for. Is there like a strict Christian thing going on there?
I think of it as traditional Southern.
Traditional. So
Yeah,
imagine
sorta.
that,
Yeah.
and then you got, it's like, we're so right about what we're saying, and then they hit you with you're in school just trying to govern yourselves, and you don't know if you're gonna have the government come down on you and hit them with what? They made cyberbullying illegal. Imagine cyberbullying. Just walk. What did Tyler the Creator say? Just walk away from the screen.
Right.
Cyberbullying doesn't exist, and they're making that law.
You
Like
just
that's
love
crazy.
the thrill of being on the internet
Yeah,
and bothered.
mama
people say.
insanity. Actually,
Yeah.
shout
it's
out
evil.
to the teens in the new America in Tennessee. That's big to me.
Yeah, your digital footprint is everything, man. TikTok, Instagram, man, for these kids, I'm telling you, it's everything. Make or break. I'm telling you, man, but I don't think any of that stuff really matters. These guys, I know kids right now that are driving without a license, not to dox, but you know.
You don't need documents.
I mean,
rules.
yeah. So that stuff, man. I mean, it might work outside of Memphis for sure, like Nashville and stuff like that.
Because
but-
Nashville is more compliant,
yeah, for sure.
whereas Memphis is the wild, wild
Oh yeah, Wild Wild West for sure.
west. Is it
South.
west of the Mississippi or east of the Mississippi?
I guess West. I guess I don't.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
guess
shouldn't have
West.
asked the question and exposed our
An anchor
ignorance.
baby.
I guess. But anyways,
I
yeah,
need
I
to
don't
play
think it's gonna
more.
hold up, man.
Geography games or something.
Yeah, scratch that. Let's move forward. But that's a crazy law, and that's a shame. That's why we need white history.
Big.
You know, shall we dive into this story? Oh, I don't know if you can do it this way.
Show me.
We're gonna produce on air. Studio 4, James Daily clips. I put the clip because I didn't process it the right way anyway. And then
Hacking into the mainframe. Hold on.
Winamp.
What you got?
Maybe not
You
Winamp.
said where the Hake Report?
No. James Daily clips.
Aye.
And it should be the most recent one. Nobody ever uses this.
The
Insurance
most
fraud.
recent one?
Yeah, 2-11.
I haven't done this in so long.
I know.
Oh, I see it. Classic.
Right.
That's
so-
why we did it this way.
Yeah. 'cause-
Okay, I got the video.
Nice.
You want me to show it?
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay.
This is a setup by somebody who's maybe not American, or a group of people who are maybe not American. It's not very white. I've heard about this type of thing with Armenians, and it's you're looking at dash cam footage of a car accident, but it doesn't look very accidental. It's accidental on the part of the young woman, but the young woman who's driving and stopping and cussing and on the phone with her husband or boyfriend or somebody, they're calling each other babe. And it sounds like he's in the car with her, but he's not. It's on the phone. So are you able to show it?
Yeah, I didn't hear a single word of your summary, so I'm going to get it fresh, and it's
Nice.
going to be great. So sorry about that.
Here's how it goes.
But we got the video.
Sweet. And it may come in a little loud, so we'll see.
That's your mic. We don't want to do that. Don't worry, guys. We're going to back that up. Here we go. Watch this.
I saw this on X, okay? Here it is.
What happened, babe? Oh my God, what is he doing?
I felt that.
Babe!
Babe, what happened?
That's
yeah,
messed
this
up.
No!
Babe,
I got into an accident. Oh my God. Oh my God,
where are
babe.
you?
I'm on the Bell Parkway. This guy just reversed into me. What the hell is going on?
Oh my gosh.
Reversed into you?
Yeah.
And look at these
Jeez.
Latinas and Latinos.
Oh, no.
Babe,
They're
babe,
like,
babe.
oh, my head.
Just stay there. Oh my God.
Look at Nick.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Where on the Bell Parkway?
Look at this.
I knew it, man.
Holy shit. You know, after that turn?
Yeah.
Oh
So they
my
swerved in
It's
front of this
okay.
gal.
Right.
Hold on, okay?
Oh, there's a car in front of them, too, to make the excuse to stop.
What happened?
What happened?
And so they're like,
Hold on, babe.
he spotted it. I think he spotted it. He's like, oh, shoot.
Wait.
The dash
Hold
cam.
on. He totally spotted it.
Let's watch it one more time.
Yeah,
Right?
hold up.
One hand on the.
From the beginning,
Yeah.
let me see if I can. No, don't worry about that.
What the?
Yeah, okay, totally swerves.
And she stopped right, and she was able to stop and not.
That's
smash
totally
into it.
safe right there.
Yep.
That's
he reverses
retarded.
into him. Into her.
What a
Babe,
shame.
what happened?
I don't know.
Babe,
I got into an accident. Oh my god.
And they
Oh
act
my
where
God.
all.
are you?
I'm on the Bell Parkway. This guy just reversed into me. What the hell is going on?
Reversed into you?
Yeah.
Female driver, by the way.
Oh my.
Look at
I want them to catch
this.
her.
Oh,
Oh
I'm
my
shaking.
god.
You know, I
Wait,
heard
wait,
of
wait.
stuff like this.
Just stay
Yeah,
there. Oh
I
my
have too.
God.
Oh my god.
We're on the Bell Parkway.
Oh,
Holding their heads.
you know, after that
come on.
turn,
Yeah.
Backing up like that was
Oh,
the was the
okay.
smoking gun.
Yep.
But
Hold on,
this guy
okay.
totally peeps the camera. Hold on.
Yeah.
what happened? Hold on, babe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait.
This is why, you know, I was telling somebody too that we should get a camera for a number of reasons. Yeah, scammers for a number of reasons.
Right.
But I've heard of stuff like this in LA and whatever. Total scam. You know, you get hit in the back. I've always heard this too growing up. If someone hits you, it's pretty much always their fault, or you
Correct.
can never.
Yeah,
So
the
what's,
way that
yeah,
they-
so that is true.
Yeah. Yep. It's generally, so let's say that there's multiple cars, one crashing into the next.
Yeah.
The car behind pays for the car in front. Basically,
wow,
that's
yeah.
kind of how they.
See, I always heard that. Yeah.
So that's why you're supposed to stay at a safe distance
Mm-hmm.
from the car in front of you, so that you have that stopping distance, and stop at a decent distance in case somebody hits you. You don't go into them.
Unless you have a camera. I mean, that's true.
Yeah.
But also, unless you have a camera, right? Then if you were to hit somebody, but you were able to prove it, you have the video.
Right.
That's what changes everything.
Yeah. She's fortunate that she had the dash cam, which is a dashboard camera for the boomers, and it recorded everything.
Wow. That reminds me of my first wreck. I had a Nissan Versa. Back when I was in high school, that was like my first little car. I had a Nissan Versa. And my school was like 20 minutes from my house, so I was driving like, this day I had to drive from my house to my school for like, yeah.
He
pull
found
it
a
up.
Nissan Versa.
Yeah,
Nice.
pull up. It was like an old Nissan Versa.
It's on it.
It's like
He-
20.
That's his whiteness.
Was it like 2013 maybe? I don't know.
2013
Yeah,
Versa.
probably-
Pull it up.
Probably 20.
Pull that stuff
Pull it
up.
up, Jamie.
Wow, that's crazy. I like how you did that.
And
You
so
were
you
saying?
crashed into somebody?
But yeah. So this day I had something like that. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So yeah, I had a Nissan Versa, and I was going back and forth to school. I had a performances day. I was in choir, and so I was going back and forth. And on my third time going back to school, I fell asleep for like 10 seconds.
Damn.
I fell asleep. I was dead tired. I woke up at like 5 a.m. that morning. I was just doing a whole bunch of stuff. And I was driving and I dozed off and I looked up and I was in the back of this truck, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I was going like less than 10 miles per hour. So
Like you woke
wasn't
up,
anything crazy.
you woke up
yeah, like I woke up
inside
like,
of a truck.
I woke up in the back of the truck just like I hit the back of it and I just woke up. I was like, yo, no way.
That's
Dang.
crazy.
I kissed the
no,
back,
that's
yeah.
dangerous, man. That's major. Like dozing off like that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
but
one
it
of my
is what
friends
it is.
wrapped his truck, I think, around a pole, but he was okay. And crazy. I think he fell asleep. Pretty sure he fell asleep.
You say you wrapped around the pole?
I think he did. I think he wrapped the truck around the pole.
Oh, shoot, he died. Or did he?
No,
die?
he was okay.
Oh, he was okay. Right on.
Yeah.
Nice.
Never wrecked it.
Oh, you've never been in a wreck?
No.
Oh, really?
No.
I know that's right.
That's SNF said that. I don't think I was supposed
He
to
called
say
it a
that.
wreck. That's
right.
That's a little fender bender, basically.
It was like a
what you-
little fender
Okay.
bender.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a little fender bender. But the guy, he was cool about it. He had a pickup truck who I hit.
hmm
Yeah, he didn't.
More damage to your car than his, or no?
Yeah, more damage to my car than his.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, dang, that brought back a little memory. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, I felt it when they crashed, when they backed into them in that video, and especially with the audio, the great audio and these great headphones, I could feel the. It was traumatic.
It was traumatic.
I was so confused because I thought that the guy was in the car with her, and why is he asking her what happened? You know, the guy who was on the phone with her.
What the?
Terrible. But it's so like outsider, foreigner, using, exploiting the insurance system and all this stuff, these laws and all that stuff in our country. It's partly why I wanted to bring this up, is because there's an update. I don't know if you can pull up the Punchie TV doc, but there's an update where they found the guy, the male who you said spotted the thing.
Yeah.
He ran off to Ecuador for a month.
The guy in there.
And then he came back and he was arrested like at the airport, I guess.
Oh, the guy that hopped out the car?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah, they arrested him. But they still have to find the women. The women are worse offenders than he is. Well, they're all evil.
Misogynist.
Yeah. I want the women punished. But pretty crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. How'd the guy get caught? Come on now.
I know.
I think I can get
I think
into
it's an
the-
anti-man bias in they're more eager to go after the men. Men get harsher punishments, harsher penalties, and all kinds of stuff.
Mhm.
But were you able to find the Google
I'm
doc?
trying to get in there.
Okay.
Oh, hold up.
If you're logged into
Man, that's crazy. Insurance fraud. I
you
think
can be
Bill,
logged into James Anton Hake if you want on the Chrome thingamajigger.
I think Bill tried to pull that same move on me, while I was pulling in the parking lot.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It is what it is, but hey,
I'm kidding.
insurance
I'm just
insurance
totally
fraud,
kidding.
You got to get your money some kind of way, People don't
But
get
I've
rich.
heard that, you may
Got
not
it.
have heard when you were prepping. I heard that Armenians are Christian, supposedly. But Armenians, former communist country, very corrupt, and I heard that they set up these things. They set up these crashes, these accidents.
That's what I heard.
Insurance frauds, huh?
They'll pull up in front of you and then slam on the brakes. You crash into them. Boom.
You said Armenians?
Armenians. This is what I heard. I have no firsthand knowledge at all.
Let's call up Leonardo. Let's see if that's true. Isn't she Armenian?
Oh, is she?
Yeah. We got to call her up and see if that's true. I
Yeah.
don't know much about the Armenians, but dang, that's interesting. Dang.
And Armenians are like business people. They're kind
I
of
got it,
shop
by the
owners
way.
and stuff like that. So that's partly maybe why they get themselves some work. They know the industry.
Is it true Armenians and Iranians are non-whites that are confused as white, and Armenians are whites that are confused as non-whites? Is that true?
Could be. They're all. Some of them are very white, and some of them are a little bit more
right.
Arab looking.
It's just a mixed nation.
Yeah. Indeed.
It's the world, I guess. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Did you find the doc?
Yeah, I do. I have it right
So we
here.
can pull up where the guy got caught.
Okay, so what am I looking at? Guy got insurance fraud.
Yeah,
They
update.
got him.
Yeah, they got him.
Ecuadorian guy. Yeah, it says, I want the females caught and punished.
Yeah, I
in
can't
the
help
notes.
myself in my notes.
We got to remember that. Yeah, they all too often get away with it. I remember that's a memory I have actually as a young child with my sister. I just never forget. No, Nikki, it's just girls. We could get away with murder. Shout out to my sister we love.
Indeed.
This is we got the second video here, right?
Yeah.
Are we showing it
This
right
is
now,
the
Bill?
follow-up. Yeah, I think so. Here it is.
They got him.
They got him.
I like this
Let's turn it up.
presentation too
Let's turn
because
it
it's like
up.
a Latina voice woman sounding.
Yeah. Y'all remember this case? These 4 people backed into this
Nuyorican.
woman in Queens,
Yeah, let me try that again.
They got him. Yeah. Y'all remember this case? These 4 people backed into this woman in Queens, New York, hid her vehicle in order to commit insurance fraud. Well, you see the guy right here? He was arrested. His name, Michael Martinez, 28 years old, from Ecuador. He's been in Ecuador this whole time, waiting for the dust to settle, because he figured that everybody was going to forget about him. So when he came back to New York from Ecuador,
Hold your
they
head
arrested
up.
him at the airport. I mean, I get it. You went to Ecuador. You thought, you know what? I better get away for a while. But a month, dude? You were just gone for a month. Like, yeah, you might have wanted to disappear for a few years, maybe. His charges, reckless endangerment, staging an accident and insurance fraud, and criminal mischievous. He could face up to 7 years in prison. But this story is not over. They're still looking for the rest of the people that were inside the vehicle. Because wherever they're hiding, they better stay put for a while. Because one thing we have is good memory.
I hate
We got you on
that
TikTok.
TikTok thing at the end. It's so loud. It's always so loud. So what? I don't know what year this was, or how recent it was, or whatever. But nice.
I mean,
This is what we don't like. This is what the whites don't like in our country. We're not used to this. We're used to high trust society.
these things, you got to understand these people, if they're doing when they're doing some of this,
Yeah.
it means they got away with like a whole bunch
Right.
more.
Yeah.
You got to think about the lives that they could carve out here. Impune, like no repercussions for years. They'll have whole businesses, whole
Yeah.
lives. Even I don't know if this guy's illegal or something, but
Right. That's a good point. And they have, and now I say now, but the last several years, prior to the last several years, you never heard about catalytic converters getting stolen, but now it's a whole racket in business. Maybe it's died down a bit, but because people have caught on and the police are supposedly helping a little bit, but it's all kinds of cars getting hit. And it's not just LA, it's the suburbs and everywhere. So the same type of thing. People are getting a livelihood off of crime. I shake my head.
Yeah, I agree.
Even the blacks don't like it.
Yeah, nah, that was some mess. He couldn't even hold his head up. You know, his stomach was at the bottom of his, his stomach dropped as soon as he got caught. I already know. He just, head was down. Life's over.
And he
But he
didn't
might
even,
get out.
it's not like he killed somebody that I know of.
Yeah, nah, he'll probably be out.
Yeah.
But you touch on something so
probably up by now.
interesting that the problem is like here in like a big way, in an unmistakable way that, you say, well, like you brought up, they're maybe starting to enforce something, supposed to have some semblance of enforcement. The fun police stuff maybe didn't quite work, but at what point do we have to like admit this problem we're talking about is big?
Yeah.
Enforcing it, it's like that might help a bit, but they don't have the resources, for example, to even deport, for example, these people that are trying to deport.
Right.
In many ways, the
there's
system
fighting-
is
there-
overwhelmed.
The system is fighting against itself, basically. If you count the judges as and ICE as the system, you have the judges and ICE, and they're fighting against each other.
Absolutely.
So it's
Blocking all
hamstrung
up.
at every level.
It's like here in a big way, it's just so criminal that the people
Yeah.
insulated from all this have brought like a real big thing. It's like now if you just say, oh, let me just bring some police, it's like the landscape has changed irreversibly. It's like not the same America.
Right.
That's essentially what I'm saying.
Yeah, they've brought their corrupt country here.
Right.
We've imported and fundamentally transformed America. Obama was famous for saying he wanted to fundamentally
Oh, really?
transform America.
They say it out loud.
Right.
They said it. They told you.
Uh-huh.
That's amazing. And that's what I'm getting at. To essentially summarize, flood the streets with cops now. All of a sudden, it's like great, but it's here in such a big way that these people on TV want to get votes don't care about.
They call it anarcho-communism or something like, or anarcho-tyranny. I've heard Mike Cernovich call it anarcho-tyranny.
What's that?
Where you have anarchy, meaning crime, people getting away with all kinds of stuff. And that gives the excuse for the tyrants who brought in these criminals and allowed for the crime to enforce selectively against whomever they want. They can say, Dinesh D'Souza, you did this screwy campaign donation. Go to jail.
Right.
House arrest. These January 6ers, we need to hunt these January 6ers down. And so they very aggressively hunted down all the January 6ers. And they went after the people who, different mask type things and all kinds of selective enforcement of these sketchy laws.
That's right. You groypers, we're coming after you.
Yeah. And the more out of control the criminals are, the more militarized, people say the militarization of the police.
Yeah.
There's an excuse to militarize the police because the crime is so bad. But they've let the crime get bad. They brought the crime here. You never hear about them solving the crime in Memphis or Chicago or anywhere. They just cook the books and do programs and whatever.
That's right. I think that's why it's important that we rock these T-shirts. We need whites back in charge.
Yeah.
Nazi coon.
There has to definitely be no issue with saying such a thing.
Right.
Right. And if someone could show like that we want white people back in charge.
Back in charge, yeah.
And that we want America to stay in a white country. If someone could tell me a better way to maintain at least some, I mean, I only even got a taste of it, right? And it's changed in my lifetime, right? If someone could show me a better way to maintain and preserve this society, other than keeping it white, at least majority white and all that, I guess we could talk about it. Even then. I don't know why should you have to do even that, but that's why it's important. So I'm saying there should be no problem in saying such a thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Imagine a president saying that. Imagine a president saying, "Hey, by the way, what's the big idea with having a majority white America?" Like,
That'd be beautiful.
Imagine you just said that. Imagine Trump just said that.
Yeah.
Hey,
He says
what's the big idea?
He says plenty, which I'm very
Yes.
pleased with.
I think,
You know?
yeah, I really do see that. You guys described that so well.
Leonardo is Albanian, not Armenian.
She's Albanian.
Yeah. Just to clear her name.
Uh.
But shout out to the Armenians. I know many Armenians, and I don't know what they all get up to, but shout out.
What a mess. Yeah,
They
that's
know
really,
what I'm talking about probably better than I do.
Yeah, it really sucks though. I feel like Americans now they're just careless individuals.
Say
Like
again?
now that I feel like Americans now, to identify an American is like just a careless individual. Like there's no incentive for us to just be, awesome citizens as far as like reaching for the stars, being outgoing, when your own country isn't even loving you like how they love illegals, What's the real point? I feel like now we're kind of just sitting back, we're just chilling, waiting for Jesus to come and save us from this madness. But I've really been struggling with finding a point to like wake up and fight, And
You have fatigue.
Yeah, it's like I've got fatigue. But maybe maybe I should look at myself a little more just because like
What were you fighting for?
yeah, exactly. What are you fighting for?
No, that was a question.
Now I'm thinking. But what am I fighting for? I mean,
What were you? You said you were fighting for something.
yeah.
And now you
fighting
don't know what to fight. Like, what's
fighting
the point?
fighting to fix the country from the trajectory that it's on, So now it just you sort of feel helpless. At least that's how I feel. Some days I just wake up, you just feel helpless because it's like, this whole deep state infiltration that's at hand. You kind of feel like you're drowning in it, but when when I rock this shirt, I just think to myself, dang, when are we gonna get some more James Hakes around here? You know, a lot more intellectuals, a lot more whites.
You mean the
taking-
border between us and chaos?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's ever thinning.
But yeah, man, we just gotta fight, man. But some days I wake up and I feel
No point, huh?
fatigue. I feel no point.
Is the fan on?
For sure.
Can we
Fan's
turn
on
the
with me.
fan?
Let's turn it on. Hey, Bill.
Can
we
you
get
rotate the
this
fan to
way?
hit us a little bit too?
The fan of life.
I have a few super chats if you guys don't mind.
For sure.
But to address the
Yeah.
fighting thing, I don't want to disrupt that too much. I don't really think of myself, especially not now, as fighting to preserve or to fix the country or anything like that. I believe in what we're doing at Bond. I agree with it. And so any clip that I make, I see as like getting the word out there. You know, I do the Bond clips for church, helping to get the word out. And that's all you can do. And some people are really heed the word, the good
Right.
word.
Yeah, I think the gospel is more important for
Yeah.
sure. But with that being said, one way to really spread the gospel is by, I think, definitely just having it in the government, spreading the gospel through the government, and it'll spread to the citizens for sure. But right now, with all these conflicting ideologies, all these different religions, it's kind of hard. Well, it's not hard, but it's getting harder for sure. When you grow up and your teachers they wave these LGBTQ flags around you, and you're just bombarded with all this nonsense. Compared to growing up with a Christian, government school system. I think that's one reason why I just want that lifestyle, that true patriot, nationalist lifestyle. I think that's one thing that I would like, Though I'm satisfied, where I am right now, I would just like, I would like for that to be the reality, if that kind of makes sense.
Are you not living it? The patriot lifestyle you describing?
The fan feels good. Bill is still in this room, guys. He's just not in his panel right there. But he's still here.
Bill,
He's
get in
attending.
your panel,
He's
man.
attending to the stream, honestly. Truly is. So, one thing
Get
that
in the box.
Derrick mentioned, the promoting the LGBT stuff in schools and all that. One thing that I found quite encouraging and refreshing is that you can't squelch the truth from somebody. You can't. You can deceive a lot of people, but they're already prone to be deceived. There was this young man or young lady who was raised in either lesbian or some type of alternative lifestyle up in one of these places. I don't know if it was Atlanta or Bay Area where the gays are and the transgenders, and everybody's celebrating it. This kid grew up in that world, in his house and in his school. I'm saying his just because I don't know. And he knew the whole time, with all that celebration, that it was fake. That there was this was nothing to celebrate. That it was that there was something off with it. And he came out of the world and found Jesse. He came out of that world and found Jesse doing quite well. So even a kid raised in just dark phoniness can't still has the truth. and recognizes the truth and has the truth in him. So all is not lost. And the world's supposed to be evil. I mean, yeah, America wasn't as openly embracing of evil like it is today, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I understand that, but at the same time, I always remember even Jesus had to flip tables, and when I think about that, that's what really drives me. Thinking about how Jesus lived his lifestyle, and what he stood for, and I try to reflect that. I wake up every morning, and I think that's what really drives me. Because it's like after you wake up, you kind of go through this phase of you kind of sit in this enigma, this kind of, because when you first wake up, from what I've experienced, you have like this honeymoon phase where it's like, oh man, this is amazing. I kind of see everything for what it is now. I've been getting attacked for so long, and now I see where all these arrows have been coming from, who's been, shooting these arrows at me, and, once you wake up and realize that you want to tell everybody, and then, you go and you tell everybody, and then they look at you all crazy. And then you get over that phase, and then you get into this dark kind of, I don't want to call it dark, but sort of emotionless phase. I don't know if you've experienced this after just waking up. Everything kind of, nothing really excites you the same as it used to. You're not fully indulged in like feelings and like emotional things.
That doesn't sound dark.
Well, all right. So,
What you were saying?
yeah, it's peaceful for a while, and then you keep going, and if you don't remember where you came from, you'll kind of you'll forget, and at least this is how I was feeling. I feel like I was kind of floating in a meaningless space, and just a nothingness, like nothing really matters, But I think that can be a dangerous place to be in, because you won't wake up and do what's right. And I feel like what's right is fighting for the well-being of others, right? Spreading the gospel, confronting politicians that don't want the best interests of the people. They only care about, filling up their own pockets. I think that's, waking up every day and doing that, fighting. That's the answer right there, I believe.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
So that's the answer to the emptiness you described before that?
Yeah.
Go out and fight the world?
And not getting a thrill, because I know it sounds like, he's just going out fighting and getting a thrill, but, it's like...
Well, I'm just trying to understand the answer to the emptiness.
Yeah.
Logically, not with anything else. Just like if I was a person and I wanted to understand it, why am I feeling empty? I want to have a logical answer.
Yeah.
You're saying the answer to that was going out and waking up every
Is that what
day
he
and
meant?
fighting
Is
this
that what you
world?
meant?
Is that what you're saying?
An answer to the emptiness? Or,
Yeah, do you need an answer to the emptiness? Is that what you were
I think, that's what I've been looking for, and I think now I've come to understand that spreading the message, helping others is really where you get that emptiness kind of filled, that void, at least, that you get. And I'm speaking like this because I've been on this journey for a while, and this is just currently where I am right now. Because I, as a human, we're forgetful creatures. So if you go a while and you forget where you came from, you know, you'll lose sight in where you're going and or if that makes sense. So yeah, I think that's like what's been that's the end of the road, I think. Just really getting really being that light for people. I'd say that. Really being that light, watching yourself, of course, not getting too high and mighty. You know.
Yeah, you describe Jesus in a way that I don't know. I couldn't say. I'll just. To me, I mean, I just don't. Well, you're saying. I'm trying to understand you, man, and I guess what I do understand is how you're trying to describe Jesus, essentially. How he goes out, I guess, changes the world. Maybe I don't see him that way. Maybe haven't read enough. Maybe I've read of him in a different way, going out and changing the world. But I was thinking about what you were saying too, just putting out these videos and putting out the message, the simple message, because I think about how I want society to change, the world to change. Like, for example, today I was talking about Diddy, and
Diddy got off,
and he got off from
but he did get
on the Mann
caught
Act. He
on
got
something.
hit with the prostitution. I forget, transporting individuals for prostitution. That's illegal, and
Okay.
it's federally prosecutable because of the Mann Act. Some legal stuff we don't have to get into. But I was just saying on my show how, man, the only way that this case even went all the way it did is because of this activism, really, in the government, codified into law to protect women, to call them totally victims and without fault in a lot of these things. I mean, they're calling it sex trafficking in some of these cases.
That's right. They're prosecuting the pimp, but not the prostitute.
And so I was saying all this, but I kind of brought it to myself because, you know, sure, I would want the world to be a certain way. Maybe I have my ideas and thoughts about how maybe society should be.
Yeah.
But really, all this is a lesson for me. Even if I can't, because they hate the man in this, right? They hate the man.
Diddy.
They hate Diddy. They hate men.
Sean Combs.
They hate masculinity and what it represents. But let's look at men. That's like, yeah, you can judge men all day. They don't really represent that. So what it is that they're angry at something much deeper, something spiritual. It's all a lesson for me. Lessons on how you shouldn't act, how you can get yourself into pretty bad scenarios thinking that you're going to be fine living in like sin in a sense, right? Just reveling in luxury thrills, whatever, thinking that's going to be just fine, right? Mm-hmm. There's a number of things you could say here, but it's all a lesson for me. It's a lesson on how I could be better or what's wrong with me. And my ideas on how society should change about it is just my idea.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. Reflect upon yourself, yeah.
Because what else can I do?
That's true. Like when I look at these news stories from the show, I try to just put myself in that situation because it's like, you're no better than anybody else and you're two hoops in the holler from being just like that, so it's good. I do the exact same thing when I look at these stories.
What else can we do? Like,
yeah. That's true. And as soon as you start judging,
unless you're out there in the government doing it, it's like,
yeah.
I mean, what are the lessons from Diddy besides like, okay, it's wrong, we need to change the law and I guess make the courts equal? It's like, well, before that, I guess what else? I was trying to write these down and I don't have them. But lessons from that, a personal lesson would be
Right.
just this upside down order with women, worshiping the women, and they become almost terrorists in the law that way.
Yeah.
So you know what you're dealing with.
When
Watch
I
yourself.
when I look at these outrageous stories and these stories in general, whether they're outrageous or not, I sometimes ponder more not putting myself in their shoes, but how I'm feeling about this story.
Right.
Like, does this tick me off, or am I gleeful? Am I taking a side? Why am I taking a side? Stuff like that. I like that type of thing because I've noticed that I really respect when somebody is just even keel, just even, about a story and not snap judging, you know?
True.
Because it's my habit just to be like, oh, please, and stuff like that. But it's more mature just to present the story and then respond. You know what I mean? And
Makes
let
sense.
it sink in. It's kind of like the not agreeing or disagreeing. And then you give yourself more stillness and more time to see more deeply, I think. Nice.
Noted.
No,
We s-
I agree.
Free Diddy.
Unless Nick does, unless you disagree.
No.
No.
You had some wet history
keep-
stuff, no? Or what?
I have, but
Apologies.
I also have some super chats. So we'll just leave him to be blown and buffeted by the waves of emptiness and flipping tables, right?
Right.
That
Sorry.
was some deep stuff, man.
No, that was nice.
That was a little too deep. Maybe a little too deep.
John gave a super chat. No message. Thank you. Gregatron says, hey, did you read my super chat today on JLP? I don't believe so, actually. I feel like I saw something, but I don't believe I read anything from you, Gregatron. But I thought I saw something, so I have to look out for that. Thank you, man. Lin Yan Chin says, verily I saith, at what time does yonder blouse sail in the wind of possibility? Where doeth my apprentice Derrick, the BHI, Black Hebrew Israelite, find greatest solace? Solace is comfort, you know. So at what time does the sparkle blouse sail in the wind of possibility? What time do you sail in the wind of
At all
possibility?
times.
All
The
times?
winds of possibility are always possible.
And where does Derrick find the greatest solace?
That's a good question. Currently, I think right now it's all the time, but there are moments where I get stabbed. There are moments, but you've got to endure.
Hmm.
Everybody gets stabbed, and if you say you don't,
That's what stab people love to
yeah,
say.
everybody gets stabbed.
A stab person would say that.
You're getting stabbed right now, but yeah, I think
We're not talking about literal stabs, YouTube. We're talking about or stabbings. We're talking about
yeah, we're talking about spiritual
mental,
warfare.
metaphorical, metaphysical ones.
Yeah, spiritual warfare. Don't get upset.
I was going to suggest the gym
The gym.
was where you found your greatest solace.
The Iron Paradise.
Yes.
That is true.
The Iron Garden.
That's a good point. When you start working out, and I'd say seriously for 3 months, there's going to be this cycle that you're in, you know. You're going to get off from work or whatever you do. You're going to wake up, go to the gym. It's going to get easier and easier. And there's going to be like this strength that you get from all right, for example, I'm on the bench press, right? I load up like what, two plates. I wasn't used to it. Eventually, it
45,
gets
90.
easier. Load up 2 more plates, it gets easier. But it's like
225.
instead of running from,
225. Wow.
yeah, instead of running from it,
Math.
you kind of you draw it in. You want more. So yeah, it could
The
be a
raw
thrill,
power.
but yeah.
I was trying to figure out what 2 plates is. 2 plates each side, right?
That's
Yeah.
135
Wait.
with the bar.
Okay, bar is 45.
Yeah.
2
Then
plates.
2 plates on each
two
side.
plates
is
on each side.
225.
225. Okay.
Mhm.
That's what you were doing?
Yeah.
That's what you meant. That's what 2
Well,
plates
no,
means.
no, just like 1 plate, one side, 1 plate on the other side. and
Oh,
then-
okay. So it's 1 plate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
225 for reps. No, but you're saying
Yeah.
plate on each side, maybe some smaller plates.
45, 90 plus 135.
135. If you lift and you know the 40, you know your 45 times tables.
So did he give the was he incorrect in calling that 2 plates?
I thought he meant 2 plates to each side. I don't know why I thought that. Maybe I
Right.
was wrong in my impression.
But what's the industry
How did
standard?
he say it? I don't know how he. I don't
just meant
remember
like
how
two
you said it.
plates, one. That's kind of what I was thinking in my mind.
Yeah, because
but
that is.
Somebody needs to
Someone's
straighten
got to.
us
Yeah.
out because we don't
in
know
the,
anything.
In the lingo, if you were to say, 2 plates, that's a great question. I was because I instantly thought, 2 on each side.
I'm like, dang, I
Maybe
didn't know
that's
he
the
lifted
lingo.
225. That's about as strong as I am, roughly, plus or minus.
Are we wrong in the
that was
lingo?
my, actually, I could
It's like,
do
I
that.
lift 2 plates.
back-
No, 2 plates
I could
is.
do that like
no,
a
I lift
year,
1
like,
plate.
2 years
Everybody
Okay,
in
I
the
think
chat
that's
saying
what I would've said.
225.
Right, everybody say 220. Yeah, the lingo.
2 plates is
If you
225.
say 2 plates, buddy, you're saying 4 plates on total. So, stolen plate valor. I was impressed.
I could
I'm
actually
saying,
do
like,
that.
I'm
All
just.
right. I could actually do 2 plates, but that's like a year and a half ago.
I believe him.
I have an ongoing joke/not joke that I don't disclose. I'm kind of like Mike O'Hearn. I don't disclose whether I'm on roids
Or how many plates?
because it's not anybody's business. Right. 200
The
plus
thing
or
is,
minus.
the funny thing is, I think you probably don't even know, for real.
Yeah.
And it could really be, concerning your regimen and the level of progressive overload you're giving yourself without plates.
Yeah.
It could very well be 1, 2, 3 plates you don't know.
Indeed. That's right.
And then, you know what? I don't even know if he doesn't know.
2 plates,
Maybe he
one
does
5
know.
pounds, one 45 pounds.
And that's another question mark, another
Right.
layer. I don't
And-
even
and when
know
I
if he
say I
really
can
doesn't
lift-
know.
When I say I can lift 200, I didn't say pounds.
Boom.
And I said plus or minus. That
So-
gives quite. Okay, anyway, moving
The
forward.
ceiling is high here.
Thank you, Lin Yan Chin. Carver, how's your little Bond archive tape recovery, Hake and Bill? And I don't
said
think
what?
Bill has an answer for that either. I've kind of abandoned because I think we ran out of the archives. I think we've basically done most of the archives. There may be some God's Learning Channel things.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've given you. You have access to everything.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Have you gone through everything?
You know what? I kind of lost track. Somebody pulled me off of it because they're like, "Oh, we should be making money off of this," and so. But that was years ago. It's not an excuse. But I've kind of got lost track. I have to kind of go back and look at the God's Learning Channel, at the JLP,
You've got
90s
everything from
TV,
God's Learning Channel, haven't you?
the early
there was only
2000s.
like so many episodes.
I did a lot of episodes, but I don't think I did them all.
Really?
Yeah, and I think I did all of the 2007 through 2013 or 14 Bond archive services that we really have decent access to. Some of them were corrupted.
Look at you guys working hard.
Yeah, but that's how it's going. Carver 531. Thank you, sir, as always.
Working hard.
People like those, and I like them too. And maybe we can make some clips and things out of them. Gregatron says, I would love Mark to have his own savage moments. Yeah, me too. And over on Rumble, Wayne17171717 asks, do you send merchandise to the UK? We personally may or may not. I guess you could get a quote from the front desk if you want to email the front desk at bondinfo.org. But if you go to jesseleepeterson.shop, I believe that everything, which means apparel and books, I suppose, but not the Punchie's coffee at this time, are shippable to the UK. So hopefully that answers your question, man. So no Punchie's coffee, but the books and shirts and maybe mugs. Kid's Dead says the song from the Bond archive is fire. I am open.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That is John Parfit, Bright Lights, Changes, unreleased track. Nice. John Jon Parfit.
Nice.
Cool. And it looks like the coffees are not for us. There's some coffees, but those are for tomorrow. And what's up? What's up, CLC, Pick Your Poison, Mr. Zoe, over on Pilled. Kid Combo 1, Chirp Alerter, CEO of Base. Thank you guys for the lemons. And I think that we're caught up on that. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, y'all. Right on.
Sweet. Okay, so what is next on here? That fireball in the sky. Let's talk some science.
Oh.
Something light, right? Something white, kind of. Although Bill's part white. Bill's part white. That's why he's interested in science and
That's the white
space.
side.
Right, I think. Space is real. You space deniers. Okay, are you able to pull up the
Yes, I
the
can.
thing? There's like 2 videos that I want to show. One of them is kind of long, okay, guys? But bear with me. I think it's probably worth showing. It's that fireball that came down over Atlanta in the south and something. It's a
didn't hear about
meteor.
it.
There was a sonic boom and stuff. So here's a little news report about it. And then there's a follow-up. Wow, cool.
All right.
But tonight, it's what we're all talking about. We are learning more about that fireball that shocked many of us across the area today. There it goes. Dozens of people sending us pictures, videos of the meteor streaking across the sky. We've got several angles of it for you here tonight. It was bright. You see it in broad daylight right there against the bright blue sky. Many people looked and felt that it was too close to home. So we mapped out for you to show you just how far away this meteor actually was from the upstate. Check this out here. NASA confirming tonight the meteor fell over Henry County, which is south of Atlanta. That's how far away it was. Officials say the meteorite's strewn field, which is the area where smaller pieces of the meteorite may have fallen, is likely southwest of the city of McDonough.
Now tonight, Henry County emergency management officials confirming they were called to this home where you see that picture on your screen. The owner reported at least one rock crashing through their roof. Now they say this unidentified piece of debris did not hurt anyone, but they have yet to confirm what this object actually is. Officials say they consulted the National Weather Service, who says it could be a meteorite fragment or maybe a piece of space junk. Now, the meteor was also detected from space. Take a look at this here on your screen. NOAA's satellites did detect something bright near Atlanta, moving toward Henry County. NASA also releasing images showing what appears to be the debris from the meteor fall, and that's appearing on radar over the area of that strewn field we talked about.
What a story to tell. And while this meteor is the talk of many towns today, scientists say these sightings aren't as rare as we might think.
Yeah, we might actually just call them something a little different. We might call them shooting stars. That's what one NASA expert says to us. And our Fox Carolina Brianna Walton is joining us now. Bree, you spoke with that NASA expert, but he does say that there is something pretty rare about the one we saw today.
Yeah, if you think about shooting stars, they typically happen at night, and that's what makes this one so rare. It happened in broad daylight, so this time we didn't miss it.
You see that little wisp of light? The kind of in the night sky, very quick, very kind of dim. That's also the same thing. It's a meteor.
Typically, it's no bigger than a grain of salt or as big as a pebble. Wow. NASA expert David Leapart says the possible meteorite we saw in the upstate was probably the size of a tennis ball.
When you get something a little bigger like that, it's going to burn much brighter as it hits the atmosphere, and it's going so fast. It's just going to burn up and disintegrate.
Drivers on I-85 like Brendan Gilstrap, who saw the meteorite, says it disappeared in a split second, making some like Brendan second guess what they saw.
I didn't know what it was, honestly. I thought maybe it was like some planes fly over all the time. I know something fell. I was like, man, a plane got messed up. But no, it was cool though.
Scientists say fireballs in the sky happen across the world at least 100 times a day, but experts say seeing it in the daylight is uncommon.
But this one is rare because it came from a direction in the sunward direction. So no telescope's going to see it prior to entering the atmosphere.
Right now, the National Weather Service is investigating this as a possible meteorite. Professor Mofar did say that it likely burned near Atlanta. We'll bring you the first alert when we found out more. Reporting in studio, Brianna Walton, Fox Carolina News.
So they also thought it could have been space junk, but it turns out that it was indeed a meteorite. And it was, the guy had me convinced that it was a tennis ball, like a tennis ball size thing. But it turns out that according to this follow-up report, it's not. And Bill, what are you saying? He's saying no.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, you know, it's a lot bigger than its trajectory. You see how it just went straight down into the atmosphere?
Yeah.
Not like the space shuttle or something where it kind of skips along really slowly and slowly comes down through the atmosphere. It kind of came straight down. You see how fast it did?
Yeah.
That's not something that's in orbit. That's something that's, way out in space and came right down straight toward Earth. So that didn't look like anything, but it looked like a meteorite. And then the other thing is, if you were looking at that at night, it would light up the sky.
Yeah, that's
it's
bright.
Not
That was
like
big.
just a little shooting star, a little teeny weeny thing. I mean, it's got some heft to it to light up the sky so you could see it in the daytime. In the daytime where you can't even see planets, it's way bigger.
Yeah, you know what? So are shooting stars literally like a grain of salt, or like maybe a golf ball or baseball? Or
Yeah.
Wow. So
Wait, I'm not.
And so, have you ever looked out at night at the stars and you see a shooting star, or have you ever seen a shooting star?
Never.
Yeah.
Okay, I have, and Bill has, and you
I thought
said
they
the
were
trajectory.
just like cartoon things.
No, like you just see it for a short amount of time. It goes, and then it disappears.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And it's
depicted.
kind of coming at an angle. It's like
Right.
it's going sideways across
Right,
the sky.
right.
It's not coming down.
I'm following that.
Like Bill said, I'm like, that's not a normal like.
Sometimes they're sometimes coming down.
Okay.
Right, he's describing something in orbit.
Yeah, something
that-
in orbit would have, but it dips into like the atmosphere where it has to
Exactly.
burn up and brighten
And you
up.
would see it across the sky.
Yeah, and it doesn't go very. Sometimes they go further than others, I guess. But they kind of appear and then they disappear, like it goes. Something like that.
But they're but you're still you. What I'm confused is you guys are still talking about shooting stars.
Yeah.
Whether either you're just remarking on its unique trajectory.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
And
And another thing I'm confused about.
Uh-huh.
Are you saying the shooting stars are? What are you saying about the size? Like when they're up there burning, they're the size of a golf ball or
yeah,
a grain of salt,
a
and they're
grain
making
of
that
salt,
much.
and it makes that much brightness.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you said it has
Well, they're
heft to
traveling
it.
they're traveling like 40 or 50,000 miles an hour, something like that.
Awesome.
They're traveling really fast. They come into the atmosphere and they just.
You just
dump a
confused me
whole
when you
lot
said
of
it has
energy
heft
really
to
quick.
it.
Huh?
You confused me when you said it had heft to it. Like you're saying.
Well,
that-
this one had heft to it.
You're
because
saying
it
this
was
one was
big
much bigger
and
than a
bright.
golf ball.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Right. I mean, you
Oh.
saw how.
And the
people
evidence
saw it
is
in
how
the
bright it was in
daytime.
the daytime.
Uh-huh.
They saw it in the daytime from different states. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It had some size to it. I mean,
Extinction level event?
No.
How close were we,
No.
Bill?
In this
Well,
follow-up
it makes you
report.
think what something like a mile across coming at that speed, what that would do,
No,
Gives
this
you
thing.
some
I think the
idea how-
follow-up report says they. I guess it's an estimate because it broke up into bits.
Yeah.
In this follow-up report that we're gonna play with all women, they think they said 3 feet.
Yeah. Okay, something like that.
Yeah,
I
which
don't-
makes sense. Go ahead.
I still believe space is fake. No,
Okay, yeah.
You mean to tell me
Uh-huh.
this big old rock traveling? How fast did you say?
I didn't
Well,
say.
however fast.
By
it's
parts of
going,
a billion.
Oops, you were saying?
However fast it's coming in. You mean to tell me
They
it's
got
able
him.
to
Yeah.
enter our atmosphere?
They got him.
It's able to enter our atmosphere, no problem. But we are having such a tough time to exit our own atmosphere. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Huh?
That we're having
It's
trouble.
easier to come down than it is to go up.
Right.
Yeah.
Make that
Yeah,
make sense.
It's
it's
easier
way,
to
way-
fall than
it's
it is
just
to
like
Make
jump.
that make
jumping.
sense.
It's way easier.
It's
for
it's
something
like,
coming
you have to
in
think
and
about
So
you
it's
jumping
easier
off the
for
earth.
rocks to come in, but it's hard for these $1 million spacecrafts to
Yes.
come out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, just that statement. I don't want to try to
Spare
sound
me.
super smart with that one. It's just the answer to that statement, I think, is yes. I think
Yeah,
it
it's like
takes
you
quite.
jumping
It's
off
the
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 roof.
cost of energy to go up is just a lot higher than. I mean, of course, it's gravity. You just fall, as opposed to you
Derrick,
have
But
to like
this is a
boost
rock.
up with a
We're
rock.
talking
Derrick,
about a
it's
With a
rock.
rocket,
It's a
that's
difference
boosting
between
up that
What's a rock
cost.
made
jumping
of?
off
Is
the
it made
roof
of
and you
anything
jumping back
special?
on the roof.
It's a metallic rock. It's very heavy. It's surprisingly
It's
heavy.
not a boulder. It's a
Yeah.
rock.
It's a rock. It's just a rock. It's just a space rock. It's
It's
just a
a-
moon rock.
It's a SpongeBob thing. Sorry.
That's funny.
I don't know.
I have no idea why it was funny, but the way you said it made
It's
it
a-
funny.
not a
Make it
boulder.
make sense. I don't.
It's a rock.
Elon Musk can't get into space, but
Yes,
this
he can. Cancel the. Take it
NASA
back.
can't get into space, but this rock can enter our atmosphere because it's traveling at.
It costs more energy to climb up onto your roof than it is to jump off of it.
Exactly.
Oh, what a!
Is that what you were saying?
Yes.
Well, I was
Essentially.
saying,
That's
I
what
was
Bill was
saying
saying,
that
right?
you could jump off. You know, it's easier to jump off the roof than to jump back on the roof.
Totally. That's all that. That's just whether it's flat, whether it's not flat, whether it's. You have to agree with that. You just have to agree with that.
Wait, but you guys are talking about space, right? This is supposed to be some type of zero gravity, whatever. This rock is coming in.
I mean, we're on one of those, buddy.
Oh, we're on one of those.
It's just rocks out there.
But you guys are talking. All right,
Barely.
and that's wait.
It's just rocks out there, dude. It's just like shh.
All right, so and what you guys just brought up that scenario, we're talking about a person under gravity, right? That's under gravity. This rock is coming from non-gravity and entering into an atmosphere with
everything's
gravity.
under gravity.
But this rock this meteor is coming from space, right?
Right.
Which is zero gravity.
No, there's no zero gravity. It just feels
Oh,
like zero gravity.
no.
Yeah, when you're in free fall, you can't detect anything.
The thinking is
Right.
not that once you get out into space, there's gravity
Oh yeah,
stops.
I forgot. Yeah, you're right.
The thinking is not
I
that
think,
gravity stops acting upon all objects the moment you get out into space. No, the thinking, as far as I'm concerned, is gravity is acting on everything, even in the tiniest way. It's acting on everything at some point. The farther the distance, it makes the force very tiny, but it doesn't just disappear once you go into space.
Boom.
It just goes weaker the farther you get. But apparently
it gets
gravity
weaker
is
with distance.
apparently gravity is acting on everything at all times.
From various things.
It's the fabric.
They're
of,
acting on each other.
Well, explain the
I heard.
moon.
The moon.
The moon is going around the Earth, and gravity is holding it.
It's tidally locked. It's always facing us. It's spinning at the same. It's rotating at the same rate that it's orbiting, right? And it's pulling up or pushing up. The water's pushing up toward the moon. That's why we have tides, right? So they say.
Pulling up, being pulled up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so the moon is an exception, right? That's
No,
what I'm
the
hearing.
moon is not an exception.
What do you
The
mean?
moon is no
Isn't the
exception.
moon just a big
There
old
is
rock?
no exception.
Yeah, the moon and the Earth are gravitating each other.
Wait, but they will one day. Like one day, it'll fall into Earth. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
No.
It fell off of Earth.
It'll go away.
One day it'll
it's
go
getting
away.
farther and farther away.
So there
Wow.
you go. That's what's happening.
Awesome.
There's the answer.
We had a second moon
It's not
for
that
a second,
it's coming
right?
closer; it's getting farther. So that's what's happening.
You space
Not
nerds.
really. I mean, we have.
That's what's
we
happening, bro.
Sometimes
so
have like
fake.
these little rocks that, I mean, maybe it might be under a mile across or whatever, and they're basically asteroids, and they somehow get into our orbit or an orbit that's close for a while.
Cool.
And they sometimes they refer to them as being our moon because they're kind of hanging around with us for a while, but they'll hang around for a while and then they'll go away.
That's awesome.
So what's this?
Okay, so this is the follow-up. This is they found a piece of the meteorite because apparently the meteorite, with all the pressure and wind resistance, it breaks.
Cool.
Or something.
So they found it.
Unless I'm totally butchering that. Go ahead and explain that part, Bill, before we play this.
Well, they're subject. They run into the atmosphere. They're traveling, I don't know, 20,000 miles an hour or something, some extreme speed, and they run into pressure and they run into extreme heat. That's what you see all that light coming from, extreme heat, and they break up. I don't know much more to say about it, but
Okay.
that.
Air hurts.
Yeah,
you're saying.
it does. And real quick, a meteor never touches Earth. A meteorite is something that has landed on Earth.
Oh, that's
I
the
think
distinction.
Yeah, I learned that as like fourth grade or something.
Oh.
So if it made it to Earth,
Yeah, that's why it's a meteorite.
Extreme heat. That's where it comes from.
Don't deny the atmosphere now.
I deny it.
That's called friction. When you do this really fast, it gets hot.
Happens with the air
What's
too.
the opposing force?
Air.
What's the opposing force that's causing the friction?
The air.
The air.
Oh, I don't know. Actually, are you asking?
Yeah, what
no,
is
right
it?
here?
Yeah, what's the
I don't
opposing
know.
force that's
I don't know how
causing
to
the
describe
friction?
that. I don't know physics.
The air blowing by the meteor.
Yeah, in that case, it's the air. The air. Like,
the air causes.
like when it's
Yeah,
coming
wind
in and
resistance.
it's got the fire. It's got the fireball when it's coming in because of the wind,
Oh,
and it turns red hot. That's because of the wind. That's because it's like hitting air
And the
really
air's getting
fast.
thicker and thicker and thicker.
Do you deny air?
I'm
He's
not
an air
denying
denier.
air. I'm not denying air. I'm denying the
Is
friction.
there any
that's
such
caused
thing
from
as an
the
air denier?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I was
Yeah,
like, okay,
I'm
wait,
denying the
actually,
friction that comes from the air because it's like
you're actually
people
asking a
jump out
deeper
of planes
question.
all the time. You don't see them catching on fire.
You,
I know,
oh,
but
I
they
see.
have to go fast
I was
enough.
like wondering. I was like, he
But
actually
they
asking
slow,
a
they slow
deeper
down because
question.
they catch stuff.
You said what?
They slow down
They caught some air.
You should
Because
see
they're
some
slowing
old-
down, right?
Right.
But by
Imagine
that
if they
logic,
came
there
in-
You
should
should
be-
see
they
some
should
old
be
missile
on
tests.
fire.
They're just not going fast enough, apparently.
They should be on fire. If
The
we're
answer to
being-
that is they're not going fast enough.
I agree with you. We should
We should
set them all
throw
on
people
fire.
through the air
my God.
and find
Just
out when
kidding.
they start burning up.
Yeah.
To answer your question.
There's some missile tests.
Come on.
I mean, video of missile tests that you could see that do show like these as they speed up like to Mach 6 or Mach 7, the whole rocket just lights up like it's a tungsten filament or something, red hot, and just in seconds when it reached those high speeds.
That's awesome.
Kind of like a meteorite,
Yeah.
but a meteorite's even faster.
Some ballistic
know.
missiles go up kind of into space, right? They go outside of the atmosphere and then come back down.
Yeah.
Some do, I believe.
That's dope. As in cool.
All right, we can keep going, but I'll push the
here's,
issue.
here's the clip, and notice. You're gonna notice, but it's all women except for this guy at the very beginning.
Parts of a
Oh, sorry.
Go for it.
parts of a billion-year-old meteorite crash-landed in Metro Atlanta.
Yeah, a lot of us caught it on video. We showed it to you today. Our crews got an up-close look, though, at the fragment of that meteorite. Atlanta News First Sarah Hammond takes us to the Tellus Museum in Cartersville.
So many people captured this meteorite falling from the sky on their cell phones last week, but now we're getting a look at it here on the ground at Tellus Science Museum.
I heard a really, really long, thunderous explosion.
A sonic boom, the equivalent of 20 tons of TNT, shook Metro Atlanta last Thursday. What looked like a fireball in the sky hit the earth as an estimated 3-foot meteorite split in multiple fragments.
So we have a pretty close relationship with the Meteorite Association of Georgia.
And Carissa Zdanky now has a piece in her hand at Tellus Science Museum.
The fact that I'm now holding it, it's just like, oh, okay.
This fragment was found by a meteorite hunter who got in touch with the museum, and now they're adding what created such a stir into their collection.
So while meteors themselves are not uncommon, one during the day that is so big that so many people are able to see is a lot rarer.
It doesn't quite look like something you would think.
Rebecca Melsheimer, curatorial coordinator at the museum, says this is what is known as a stony meteorite, a type that is billions of years old.
It is the material that was from the very beginning in the solar system. So if we study these, we can learn about what the environment was like and how they were forming and how the planets formed.
And Melsheimer says knowing people who watch this streak across the sky will have the chance to see it here at the museum is a very cool feeling.
It's really exciting for us to be able to see something like this. Like this was in space on, Thursday morning, and now it's here and I can hold it in my hand. It's just amazing. And leaders here at the museum say this will likely be out on display for you to come see by the end of the summer. In Cartersville, Sarah Hammond for Atlanta News First.
Nice. Well, that's cute.
Meteorite hunting.
All that uptalk and vocal inflection and girly voiced women presenting the story. It was interesting though.
Billions of years old.
You saw how
Tuned them out.
this rock was heavier than it looked because it has high metallic content, they said. And I noticed that it's all like light gray on the inside. And I guess that outside is where it was the literal outside that was getting burned up in the
guess.
atmosphere.
I guess so, huh?
Probably right.
That's from the concrete in downtown LA.
Exactly.
Help us,
Is that
Bill.
it, or I'm looking at it? It seems to be the opposite.
That part
Oh,
is
the
the
gray
burnt part?
part's the burned part, and the black part is the interior.
No, yeah,
That's the interior right there?
I think that's the interior. It looks like they cut it.
I'm no meteorite expert, but I done broken rocks apart. That looks like the done broken part in the
Yeah,
middle.
man, I saw that.
You know what I mean?
I saw
See,
that
this part
last
right
week.
here looks like the part that's the
Downtown-
interior.
the downtown.
Yeah.
To
could be
me,
right.
man.
You said what?
Maybe you're
Yeah,
right.
to me, but I don't know. You know when you break them apart.
Yeah.
I break them apart.
Let's stop it. I saw that same exact piece that she has in her hand. I saw that downtown when they were breaking up the
Look how
sidewalk.
smooth.
Come on.
Look how like smooth and
Right.
charred that black part is.
And she says that's billions of years old.
That
Yeah,
came
yeah.
from
At first, the
space.
guy said a billion-year-old, but at the beginning, so the guy was wrong.
Oh wow.
And then the woman said it's billions of years old. I don't know how they know
Yeah,
this. but
exactly.
Well, all
yeah.
the rocks, all the meteorites and stuff, basically formed about 4 billion years ago.
Really?
It's leftovers from that time. Yeah.
You can't be
4
serious.
billion years ago. And how many billions of years, according to Bill, the evolution-believing baltard?
I know, right?
I'm kidding. I don't know. I don't want to dox. But how many billions of years old is Earth, according to the
About
people?
4.5.
4.5?
Yeah.
4.5 Earth, 4 billion these rocks?
About the same for that. It might
Okay.
be more closer to 5.
The rocks are 5 billion, maybe?
Maybe a little more than 4 billion, yeah.
I mean, this is mind-boggling numbers. I don't even really have a comprehension for it.
Yeah, it loses me.
How do they
after.
figure that? Well, maybe I shouldn't ask that. It's going to be a long
Controversial.
explanation. But how do they figure it in a few sentences?
Maybe
if you
the
can?
tainted textbooks. I mean, no.
The age of rocks? Controversial.
It's interesting, though.
It is controversial. I mean that, and it's controversy is
Yeah.
real. It's controversy is real.
How'd they
People-
calculate that, Bill?
Young Earth?
All confrontational.
I think they're looking at the half-life of...
He's going to say carbon.
No,
This
not
nib-
carbon at all.
Yeah, carbon
I think
is
it
fake
might
news.
Be,
This egg about to say carbon.
it might be uranium. It might be uranium.
Oh. No, now
I
I'm
think
just
it's 15
hamming it
billion
up.
years.
Uranium.
Nuclear is fake.
Yeah, some isotopes of uranium, but I don't quite remember what they're using.
So we can use these meteorites for nukes.
They figure all kinds
No,
of different
no,
things
no.
though because of the speed of light
that what
and
I'm
the
hearing?
distance the distance that stuff is from us. It's crazy. Like I have no concept of how they figure how far stuff is away,
How heavy?
what these things are made out of based on the colors that they're detecting on these.
They have a hard time figuring out how far things are away, really.
Okay.
Mass
Or-
and all that?
Huh?
Mass and...
The mass
Right,
of these stars
they,
and
they could figure. Yeah, they have a hard time figuring out. They
So it could be like
Even
anything.
they
stuff
can't keep
that's-
up with the lie. I just like.
I think they're using a type of supernova to figure out stuff in space that's really far away.
Right.
Well, okay, let me talk about closer. Closer, they look at what they call a parallax. It's like when we're on this side of the sun, and when you're on the other side of the sun, you look at how far the object has moved in the background, and then you can figure out how far away it is.
uh-huh.
And then beyond that, they have to use other things beyond that. One of the things they use is like supernova. I think they call it a type 2 supernova. And they always blow up and they're the same brightness. So if you could find something,
was good.
let's say in another galaxy or some part of the Milky Way or whatever, you could figure out about how far away that thing is.
Interesting.
Those are two of them I know, and then the third one is for really far away stuff. They know about how I guess the universe is expanding, so all the light gets red shifted the farther you go back. So and then all molecules, stuff like hydrogen, oxygen had these signatures in the light that they give off. And so they look at how much the signature for those particular light types has moved from where they would be to figure out how far away they are. That's for really, really far away stuff.
And the really, really far away stuff we're looking at from the past because it took so long to get to us.
Right.
Which is cool.
Derrick's giving us this.
It's like the past.
I know a lie when I hear one.
It took so long for the light to reach
It took
us.
so long. Gosh.
Have you noticed
They really
that?
got you guys.
You notice that light and sound don't travel the same speed, right? Have you ever done a race where you're waiting for the guy to fire off the starting gun, and you look for the smoke to leave the gun, because you see the smoke leave before you hear the explosion of the gun.
Oh,
it
is
goes.
that so?
It goes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
You
so
see before you hear.
yeah, so you know for sure that light travels faster than sound.
Yeah, have you actually seen that? Have you been watching someone play baseball from far away, for example, and they'll hit the ball, but you'll hear that ding way later?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So there's proof of that.
Nice.
But I don't know if
You gave a real sport. I gave track.
no, you were saying the same thing.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you were even denying such a thing. I don't know why
Nice.
I got all smarmy with that one. Like,
Yeah.
You know how sound works, buddy. I don't even think we were debating.
I disagree. I'll just keep it pushing. But
just blanket disagree. Let's just call it that.
That was
Wow.
interesting. how they
What,
were
what
able
would
to-
happen if you neither agreed nor disagreed? I noticed you were like laughing and scoffing at this news report.
Yeah. Space is fake, man. Come on, let's be serious.
He's all, let's be serious.
NASA, they used their NASA funds. They purchased a jet. They dropped this so-called meteorite out.
It was
their
all-
jet.
But how did it burn
was
up if it wasn't friction?
How did it burn up? Nice question. Exactly. I mean,
Something
I don't
else.
know. But I know it's not
The
from
absence
the
of
friction
evidence
the
is
air.
not the evidence of
I know-
absence.
I know it's not from the friction of the air.
The evidence of absence is not the absence of evidence.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, I don't know. It's not making much sense. I've got to do a little more research. Or Bill, you've got to explain this a little more thoroughly. But it's not very convincing. It sounds like a lie.
What'd you say?
Sounds like a lie.
You know,
My
one thing
questions
that
are going unanswered.
One thing that I noticed is that what Bill described was these people observing. They're being very observant of nature, of what's happening out there. And they're, in a lot of ways, they're interpreting it and trying to figure out what is happening. But you have to be very observant and take in a lot and be able to process a lot mentally and all that stuff to realize what you're looking at. And like, I just pointing out that they are paying attention to what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're observing it.
Yeah, they're right.
Whereas these people are
Yeah.
just
They're paying attention for sure.
Because it's like, look,
they're just
paying-
kind of like
let me-
armchair looking. You
Because
know?
yeah, let me put it
I'm
like this. Let me put it like this.
Monday
And
Night
judging.
Football.
Let me put it like this. So you're telling me electrons are traveling through little wires of metal, and that and as they're turning these corners, that equates to a 1 and a 0, and it's giving me a screen. So you're telling you can say anything like that. You know what I mean? It's like you're telling me.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I don't even
love it,
understand
yeah.
how,
It's like,
how
whoa,
I'm
yeah,
hearing what you're
electricity's fake.
saying
I love
through my
it.
headphones. I don't understand how this computer screen works.
It's basically like demonic.
Whoa,
It's
whoa,
basically
whoa, whoa.
like using the seals of
Satanic.
Solomon.
That's true.
Using the seals,
Whoa,
the
whoa,
ancient
whoa.
seals of Solomon to capture demons in circuitry. It's basically how it works. I
Right.
think. I don't know. I could be off.
I mean, I'm comparing equivalent things, right? That being an individual jumping from a plane compared to a meteor coming into space. Where are these flames? Where are they coming from?
I would love to see somebody jump from the International Space Station.
I mean,
if they can do it and survive, you know?
The altitude, but of course, but
that's only
that Felix guy did
look
it.
at the Red Bull. What was
The
it?
Red Bull guy,
jump?
Felix Baumgartner.
Right.
He
thanks,
jumped.
yeah.
That's the guy.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with Chris
Who's that?
Baumgarten.
Oh, that's somebody else?
Oh,
yeah,
no,
Felix,
Bumstead? Never mind.
Felix Baumgartner. Whatever, the guy that jumped off the Red Bull thing.
Yeah, right.
Was that the ISS?
I don't know where he jumped, but it was really high up, like the edge of the atmosphere or something like that.
Was it 50 miles up or 250 miles up or
That's a
300?
great question.
Because I feel like the
No,
International
no,
Space Station is like 250 or so.
I think that's the guy who was up on a balloon, right?
Right, the 2000.
Yeah,
I
okay.
jumped
Well,
from
if
space.
it was up on a balloon, it's.
What does it say?
The guy. Well, I don't know what it says. It says record. I jumped from the guy who jumped from space.
How many?
What does it say? Let me look that
100
up
miles.
elsewhere while you guys look at this.
Yeah, why didn't he die?
Should I unmute it?
Well, he did have to have a suit that was. He didn't just have
1,000.
his shirt
Wait, it
off.
says right there, 127,000
Breaking
feet.
the sound barrier.
Look.
127.
852. Punch it in. Mainframe.
27852 divided by 5280, right? 24 miles up.
I almost
that
weighed
nothing?
twice. the weight that
24
I normally
miles
have,
up. That's
and it's
10
very
that's a
difficult
tenth
to
of
do
the
a
International
perfect
Space
exit.
Station.
Do not over rotate because if I start over
Do
rotating,
not
there's no air.
over rotate.
Use
You will die.
the speed of sound.
Oh.
I mean,
So he gets really fast? The speed of sound?
Yeah.
He doesn't burn
He
up?
made a sonic boom?
I don't hear him.
And I
He
broke the
makes a
speed of-
sonic boom?
Because the air is
And I-
so thin. It's going low velocity. It's like beyond speed.
The first 25 seconds, it looked like everything was
Oh,
under
look,
control.
little bird.
No, that's fisheye. I agree with you, that's fisheye.
And after 34 seconds, I hit Mach 1, and I broke the speed of sound.
Whoa.
Was that him breaking the? Yeah.
And
When
it was
his
our goal.
ears
to
go
be
on fire?
the first human
No.
outside of an aircraft breaking the sound barrier. Because of the fact that a lot of those scientists said prior to the jump, you're gonna spin like crazy, and the other half said, we don't think anything is gonna happen. I was mentally prepared to spin, but I was hoping that I'm not gonna spin. Now, if you watch the next couple seconds, you see at that moment, it slowly starts to spin. It's getting faster.
Well, that's him?
The problem is there's no protocol. There's nobody in the world telling you, listen, Felix, if this happens, you have to do this while the whole world is watching. Then I
This
was
is
trying to
kill
move
people.
my arms around a little bit, just maybe it does something, and then it stopped for a second, but now it starts getting
For a
the
second.
opposite direction, you know, and
Skull.
then it really ramps up. At that moment, it's
Jawohl.
not about breaking records anymore. At that moment, it's all about survival.
The Netherlands.
So he's
There's
spinning.
only one way
Is he out?
for the blood to leave in
No.
your skull, and that's through all
But
the eyeballs.
that has
If
happened.
that happens, you're gonna die. I had a
So people have died.
G-Whiz attached to
Yeah,
my
people
hand. The
died
G-Whiz
doing
is
this,
a
doing
device
this. And
that
what would happen is they
it
just start
fires a
spinning
drogue chute
faster and
that
faster
pulls
and
you out
faster,
of
and we're
that
talking 30
flat
times a
spin.
second.
That's why I put my hands
and then
in
black out and
to
then
trick
die.
that G-Whiz. It's less G, and now the G-Whiz senses, oh, less G, that means he's getting it under control. I turned around and I was stable as a rock.
Whoa.
So when you look at my suit, you know, the more you fall, the more depressurized the suit gets, and here you can already see the suit flapping.
Wait, so how do you...
You look
So
at
he
the sky,
fixed that?
it's blue
Yeah,
now.
he pulled his
Yeah,
arms
blue,
in.
Black sky, back to blue sky. If you look at the right corner, Luke was dropping some flares, and it gives me the perfect direction for the wind. Now this is a very important moment. Very first time after hours and hours inside that spacesuit that I'm breathing regular air.
Whoa.
So now I'm really happy because even the landing worked just perfect.
Did he fall? Yeah.
Jeez.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Okay, give me a Red Bull.
Man,
So
watch out for this artificial
so
sweetness.
people have attempted this.
I believe so. I think it's either been tested or people have attempted. I'm not sure what, but
Yeah, because if you spin
they
too
would
much,
they would start spinning, and we're talking up in the really high atmosphere. They would start spinning so fast that they would, they would conk out and die basically.
you know what? Can we show? we showed this on Punchie one time before. A guy got sucked 5 miles up. He was paragliding.
Oh no.
5 miles? Yeah. Search 5, numeral 5, space, miles.
So he
Shock video
he
shows.
got sucked up 25,000 feet.
Yeah. Yeah. Clip 1, Hake, CGTN America.
Oh, in the folder.
Yeah, no, in the no, not in the doc, the Google Doc.
Oh.
If you just search 5 miles, it says Hake bonus. It's under episode 44, I guess. That sounds like our last. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
CGTN America, I think is. Yeah.
This thing?
Go to the other one. There's a one from X.
Oh, I
the clip Hake 1, because it has a nice Asian gal doing this thing. But yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's the one. He got sucked 5 miles up. And that guy jumped from 25 miles up.
Updraft. The man took off at a paraglider in China was accidentally lifted nearly 9,000 meters above the earth by a powerful updraft. The man took off at over 3,000 meters in the Qilian mountain region in Gansu province on
This
May
one
24th.
literally looks fantastical.
He said he flew so high, he could feel the oxygen getting thinner and his hands freezing. Video footage shows ice forming over several parts of his body. Other Chinese paragliders say the man broke the altitude barrier as no one has reached such heights without an oxygen tank. Paragliders tend to stay below 5,000 meters, and many consider it a miracle he survived. The man was able to remain conscious and landed safely. Following the incident, officials discovered he had not properly reported his flight or takeoff site, a violation that could result in a warning or fine.
This is crazy. It says wind can blow you anywhere.
A paraglider in China was accidentally lifted nearly 9,000 meters.
You ever seen that YouTuber?
So he didn't burn up. He froze.
This guy froze.
Interesting.
You're saying?
Yeah.
This
He
guy
got frostbite,
froze.
I think. But he was going slow.
That guy froze.
Yeah, that guy was going too slow. That's why.
Interesting.
If you go too slow, you freeze. If you go too fast, you burn. Oh.
Have you seen paramotor? These are like paragliders, but they have a motor strapped up.
That's cool.
And this YouTubers are just doing this, right? This is totally. It's just like YouTubers are strapping these and like trying them out. And it was a crazy accident.
Wow.
I know that this one went viral.
48 miles per hour. Come on, baby. Oh, shit.
No, it's pretty bad.
Oh, he got cut up?
No, he fell hard.
48 miles per hour.
I'm sure he broke something. I forget what happened, but it was not a good fall.
Shit.
Sorry, kids.
That's real pain, Bill.
Yeah, it looks like.
That's also panic, though.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like he's.
No, he's totally panicked.
Yeah.
He's totally panicked. I forget what it was. He ends up just calling 911. Like, he is fine. He ends up.
He was too excitable about his antic, I think.
Hey, Siri,
Maybe.
call 911.
He probably broke his back.
It was
Spinal.
I forget what it was, but it was not
My
good.
back.
You know, there was a guy in a squirrel outfit or something. A guy who does the. He just shoots down places. He died, 24 years old. Pretty recent, I feel like. He had gone viral. Not a squirrel, but that thing, that bodysuit thing where you go like that and you're.
Oh, so
flying.
he was like doing that gliding thing.
Yeah. Yep. And he
Yeah,
died
fly
pretty
suits or
recently, I
whatever.
want to say.
So what happened? Why did he die?
Crashed. I think
Wingsuits.
He hits.
Yeah, windsuit.
Yeah, windsuit. So
Wing-
I think he did
hit
something he deviated a little bit for some reason. They don't even know necessarily.
Wow.
And he crashed into something or died.
Oh, might have been just like an updraft or something, man. Caught him, and he was too close to something. I mean, I don't know. Otherwise, I mean, basically all they do is they go out, fly all the way down, you know,
Yeah.
at an angle, and then they pull their chute out and land. But if
24 years old.
any mistakes in your history.
It looks like some have propulsion.
Oh yeah, some have
You're
put
familiar
some,
with this?
Put some
Some
put
have
some jet engines on.
Some have propulsion.
The boy who can fly.
Look, the jet's about. There's the jet.
Wow. Oh, wow. So it's kind of like a jetpack.
You're saying this is a thing, Bill?
Whoa.
It's got like propulsion.
Yeah.
Liam Byrne died in a crash in the Swiss Alps, 24 years old. He was featured in the BBC documentary titled The Boy Who Can Fly, attempting an 8,000-foot jump where he crashed into a rocky outcrop at Gitchen Mountain. Parents described him as a fearless man with a contagious laugh, wild energy, always felt free when he did this. Skydiving and base jumping were his source of freedom. He felt the most alive. Authorities reported he sustained fatal injuries after he deviated from his intended course shortly after takeoff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where's he from?
I think he's Scottish. Scotland.
Yeah, that's incomplete information as far as what happened.
Yeah, I don't even know if they fully know yet, because this was June 25th that this was reported.
Is he white?
Of course.
Yeah.
It's a white thing.
That's why we appreciate white people. You guys take risks.
Yeah,
You guys
sometimes
are-
more foolishly than others.
Yeah, for sure, man. I don't know a lot of black guys that would do that, and you know.
Yeah.
Thanks to you guys, we
I'm
have
not
the
jumping
jet.
as I don't have a traveling. I don't really have a traveling want inside of me.
Yeah.
To travel and.
He would talk about, take the safety measures, but apparently, I don't know what he did this one.
I mean, you don't see blacks doing that. You don't see Mexicans doing that. You don't see Indians doing that.
Sometimes, but they are more white in
Oh,
their
man, I
in their mindset and culture, you know?
Yeah, oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, man. So
There are some who do that, but they do seem more white.
that's another. It's another reason to get your White History Month shirt.
But that's not my
right
type.
now.
Thanks.
That's another reason to go get your White History Month shirts right now.
Indeed.
Let's celebrate for that guy. and
Yeah,
for this
rest in
guy.
peace. Burn. Liam.
So, that's amazing, man.
Yeah.
That guy almost looked like Nick.
Looks like Bud.
Did we even see him?
What was that?
Did we even see him?
No, I don't think we did. If you search a 24-year-old base jumper died, or wingsuit died, something like that. Liam Byrne, B-Y-R-N-E.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
I think there's a lot of that kind of stuff, more of this stuff happening because I guess people are going and doing this stuff for TikTok and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, and
Totally.
something goes wrong and.
Is that him? I think that is him. That looks familiar.
Why is there?
Such a shame.
Oh, sure, I forgot he died. Sorry about that.
I did it and I'm black, says Gregatron. Yeah. People do this stuff. It's crazy. Rub some dirt on it and walk it off, you big sissy, says Dustin. to that guy was just screaming too much. I mean, if he cut into himself, I could definitely
I don't
see
know.
myself
I
screaming.
think he might have been hurt pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean, he was going. What did he say? He was going 50 miles an hour.
Yep.
And then it just turned around a circle and smashed into the ground.
Bill thinks about the real parameters of this.
Yeah.
Right.
50 miles is pretty fast.
I thought I saw his shoulder blade come out.
Ooh.
I thought I saw that.
I mean, I rode dirt bikes, or not dirt bikes, but four-wheelers with my friends. And we were riding tandem. You're not supposed to do that. That's one in front of the other. And the guy who was riding with me, he's like, slow down, James. I'm like, no, I got it. And I sped up. We went over a jump, and we kind of went over the handlebars.
Oh, man.
Messed up the thing. Had to pay my buddy a few $100 to fix his four-wheeler. What a mess.
Going over the bars is major.
Yeah.
That can be pretty bad.
Yep. I was hurt a little bit.
Could have been bad.
I think.
Oh, it's bad.
I still think that skydiving thing is worse than going over the bars.
Yeah.
Which skydiving thing? The Red Bull one? Because the Red Bull one.
No,
is,
not the Red Bull one. I'm saying the guy who was in the paraglider.
Paraglider.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The motorized paraglider or the one who just okay?
Yeah, the motorized.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's not even.
it's I don't know. It's not a good idea to be going all out if you're not really familiar with what you're doing.
Right. It was a false confidence.
Right. Yeah. Oh man.
You got to take a risk to get rich, man. He was on his way to making a jetpack.
The Wright brothers did it right when they made their airplane. Because they survived. They crashed it, but they survived, right?
Well, many others did not survive.
Making airplanes.
Yeah,
trying to invent an airplane.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't survive.
I remember there was
killed.
There was this scene of Africans trying to like make a little helicopter, homemade little helicopter thingy.
I think so.
And it kind of just went out of control and started spinning.
That sounds familiar, yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah. What was that? That's so funny.
Anyway.
I think it's important to push things to the limit when it comes to inventing, you know. What is this?
He found it. Yeah. Well, there's another one, yeah.
Oh, shoot, he's gonna die.
Oh, no.
Nah, he's all right.
Okay, so these are highlights. This is not the one, but there may be another one in this video.
With the buds in an aircraft built with his own 2 hands. 12 other aircrafts he has built before have all failed to take off. He hopes things will be different this time, the 13th time. The engines roar to life, and then Upendo is out of his hands, and down what passes as a runway. For a few glorious seconds, Upendo is airborne, and then it crashes to the ground.
Oh, that didn't look like a few seconds.
Another
that wasn't a few seconds.
13 is not a lucky number after all.
No.
And when the time came, the homemade plane was towered by a car to gain the required speed to take off, but seems to be more obsessed with the ground than the air, failing to take off.
What year was this?
These women reporting this are just mocking the men. That's terrible.
These are their
We had our
scientists.
first test flight on 26th of November.
I'm scared.
It's pretty nice there.
You seem to have the
We
right
tested
idea.
the speed of the aircraft and it was okay. But we had some little hitches with the engine. So we are seeking for funds, sponsorships from the corporate bodies, government, and other institutions who are willing to help to come on board so that they help us develop this aircraft.
I've been having
I mean, they're just using parts
dreams
that exist,
of
huh?
flying ever since I was young, but I have not had the support to fly.
The 45-year-old used to watch President Hastings band this chart planning and watching. Curious.
We had some challenges with the wiring system resulting in short circuits, but slowly everything has been sorted out.
Felix is eager to take to the skies.
Oh man.
If his first flight is successful, Felix will be flying into the history books
Little
with his
loose there,
homemade
buddy.
helicopter and his sky-high ambitions.
No.
Any day now. Any day. This one's made out of wood.
Everything I'm seeing here has me worried.
Oh,
man.
Manufacturing
That's worse than a
in
wheelbarrow.
Kenya.
That's crazy because it's like a lot of isn't this a lot of this all territory that's been treaded already? Like, it can't you know what I'm saying? Isn't this?
People
I
have
mean,
made
they don't
planes.
really have to be pioneers in a lot of these things,
Right. Why are they trying to do
right? Why are you trying to reinvent? Right, that's the
They
thing I don't
probably-
get about this. It's
They
like
probably don't really have the money to do anything.
Right,
you know,
I
to
did-
buy
I-
like
that's what it is. I don't
buy
think it's a
kit
sincere
plane or anything
attempt.
like that, but they've always wanted to do it, so
yeah,
they're out there, you know, getting some stuff,
I
looking
get the
around for
impression-
trash and junk and making something.
Making it themselves.
Yeah, making it themselves.
Well, but like, I don't know if it's even a sincere
But
attempt.
How not?
No, I really think there's some. At least most of those are sincere attempts. I think they are sincere.
This was
attempts.
to get on TV and
but,
be like.
But you got to have
Upendo has
a lot of things have to be right
did it.
for it to
Upendo
work.
for one glorious moment. That's what he wanted. Upendo wanted the one glorious moment.
They got on TV.
Flying is dangerous if things are not right.
That's another thing. That's the other aspect too. It's like all the glory of attempting, but it's like, you think I'm really gonna try this stuff, man? I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Crazy? No, I'm just gonna have the motor going. It's like, yeah, it's our prototype.
I mean, some of those were really. I mean, the guy put a lot of work into that.
Yeah.
True. To get to
They're
that
definitely
point.
craftsmen's.
But the problem is,
a lot of time may be on their hands.
Planes are also about, the airflow. They're about how light. They have to be made of really light components.
Yeah.
Light and strong. And if it doesn't meet that, if you're just getting some plywood down the street, it just isn't going to quite cut it.
That's a good point.
It'll look real nice, but it'll never get off the ground. It's like
That's
2 or
some
3 times
unexpected-
heavier than it needs to be. It's got to be.
That's some unexpected white history.
Indeed.
No, I respect it. When there's a will, there's a way, for sure. Even if you got to grab that 2x4 down the that's nice. I think you see a lot of that. I think it was sincere, though.
Mm.
You think they did?
If they were sincerely trying, they would at least
soundbite?
open up a
for the news coverage.
something, or it's like, let's see how the last guy did it. At least,
Yeah, the last guy did it.
Because the parts are, I think one of those guys were on the right track. I think the one who were like requiring funding, and they had this thing that was moving around. It wasn't falling apart. It looked proper. Had those cables. What is moving the ailerons of a plane? Cables. It's a fly-by-wire.
Wow.
So it seemed like, and then these motors.
Fly by wire does not fly by wire, but okay.
You're moving it, right? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Oh no, that's the one without the wire. That's the one specifically without the wire.
Right, exactly.
That's the one with the computer. But
Right.
the point is, it has cables. Okay, it has cables. That's how it works. This guy's on the right track. You need propellers, motors already exist. Get the right ones. Build the thing around it. I'm just saying that you go to the last guy that did it right, and at least try. Some of that was made out of wood.
If you really want to get in the air.
Some of that was made out of wood.
I respect the hustle, man. Save up, and you'll be able to afford.
It's kind of like something that a kid would try.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
What we were looking
at.
at.
Yeah.
I think the
Exactly.
mistake is you need to make like a small model of whatever you're gonna do, and then build a large model of the small model that worked.
Yeah.
That's the way to work your way up to it. But if you're just going on visuals and just go there, build it out of scrap, out of somewhere. Planes are dangerous.
Good point.
Yeah.
I don't know about for all things, but I guess
I
in
think
this
a
field,
plane. I think
yeah.
little airplane or whatever. I think you need to build a small model, and then work your way up from there. I wouldn't just go after a big one right away.
Yeah, we need to get started. Well, we should probably go out back and just start building our own little spaceship.
All right.
We really need to start. Before
Build a rocket
Elon,
ship.
yeah, like Jesse says, Elon's getting ready to send all the whites out to Mars. I think there's some land out there we got to get ready for. We're saving up. I think it's time. If space is so real, we should really be out back building our own spaceship. Attempting, we should be doing the exact same thing.
The white people are going to leave.
Yeah.
You're going to leave Earth.
Donate now so that we can get to space.
And keep bringing you.
We need to.
And why do we need to get to space? Anyway,
broadcast.
Yeah,
so
because
keep broadcasting.
Kenya space program. There is one, right? There is one, but it's funded, I think, by. Anyway,
before the moon collides with the Earth, and we all
and
die.
I think they're a week away from a nuclear weapon. Kenya, we're coming for you.
before another asteroid
Any
hits
day.
Earth.
We're closing in on 4 o'clock here in
Yeah.
in Los Angeles,
This is true.
guys.
Right on.
I have one more question, but maybe some of you guys have a question, or maybe somebody else has one more question, one final question.
I'm familiar with this final question. You know what? I do have one more question.
All right.
How do we end this?
You look like an actor. I love it. Yeah.
How do we end this?
Take care, folks.
Take care, guys. Thank you all. This has been Punchie TV. We are on Substack and Spotify and Apple Podcasts, at least this past episode. And this episode will be uploaded there as well. And so follow, support, and donate to Bond. They're doing a fundraiser. Nice. The views expressed on here do not represent Bond, JLP, the network, and the hosts. We don't even represent ourselves, honestly.
That's deep. Hi, y'all.
So take care.